from Platt.
Hi, how's everybody doing? You having fun? Good conference?
Yeah, definitely.
Everything in good area?
Yes, sure.
Getting enough free beer?
Yesterday. Definitely. So, can you introduce yourself shortly?
Okay, well, my name is Dave Platt, and you probably know me best as the author of my famous book, Why Software Sucks. The software today really doesn't meet users' needs. It's not so much technical. 20 years ago, software did not work well because it was technically difficult to make it do the things that we needed to do. Now it is technically fairly easy, not easy, but we can more or less solve any technical problem that we need to solve. Now it's a matter that we don't solve the right problem, that we don't figure out what the user really does need, and so we wind up solving the wrong problem, spending our time on capabilities that the user does not need, failing to put in things that the users do need, complicating the user's life when it needs to be simple, and things like this.
Okay. So, one of your most famous phrases is know thy user.
Know thy user, for he is not thee. That is Platt's first, last, and only law of user experience design. Okay, engrave that on your heart, along with buy low, sell high. Stick your finger in the dike, and always cut the cards. You know, your user is not you. Okay, your user is not you. Your user is not you. All right, unless you are writing programs for a bunch of burned-out computer geeks, your user is not you.
But how would you solve the problem? Because obviously most developers are completely different than their users.
Of course they're completely different from their users, and they're always going to be completely different from their users.
Yes.
There are a number of different ways.
Yeah, plus yes.
There are a few different ways. The requirements gathering phase is one of them. You need to talk to a lot of users. I see this all the time. Developers don't talk to users at all. They sit there and think, okay, the user wants this, the user wants that, and they never talk to any users. I'm sorry, that's committing malpractice, simple as that. Now, so you need to talk to a lot of users in the beginning. It's important to understand that users will not always know exactly what they need. They will describe their business process. We do this, and then we do that. And it's up to you to sort of extract what the user really needs in a computer program. And the analogy that I like to use here is a doctor. Okay, when the patient comes into a doctor, it is not the patient's job to diagnose themselves, it's the doctor's job to figure out what's wrong. The patient does not say, oh yes, my third metatarsal is writing on them, and they didn't know. He says, ow, my foot hurts! You know, and it's the doctor's job to ask the questions. Well, yes, is it this foot? Is it that foot? You know, have you had this before? Yeah, well, you got it again. You know, does it hurt when you go like this? Yeah, kind of. Well, stop going like this. It hurts you, dimwit. You know, and it's here. The true story, classic example. I went to the doctor and saying, you know, gosh, doc, ow, I'm dying. I hurt all over. Here, look. Ow, ow, ow. Turned out I had a broken finger. It's the doctor's job to figure these things out, and it's the UI experience designer to get the user's requests and thoughts and find out what the user really means by the things that they're asking. I had a client once, financial trader, and they had a bunch of right-click context menus, and they said every single, you click here, you click there, you click there, you get different context menus. And they said, okay, no matter where we click, we always want the menu item that says enter a new deal, no matter where we click. I said, aha, well, wait a minute. If it's everywhere, then it's not really based on context. And therefore, might you want it in a toolbar instead, where you can always get at it without anything else? And yes, that's the. So they came to me with a specific symptom, and it's fairly common that they will come with a very specific thing that they want. I want you to do X, and if you say, well, why do you want X? Then they defend that. They say, oh, well, we want X because this and this and this. We need to have X. We got to have X. Don't tell me I don't need X. I mean, I need X. Come on, give me X. So you don't say, why do you want that? Instead, you say more or less the same thing, but phrased in a very different way that leads to very different thought patterns. You say to them, what problem are we really trying to solve here? You're not reacting to the solution at all. You're not mentioning their proposed solution at all. First of all, you're not in their face, going against them. You're on the same side. What problem are we trying to solve? And then they really can't refuse to discuss the background here. And often you will find, what the background of the problem really is. and maybe their solution is optimal, and maybe it's not, but at least now you've talked it all the way through. So there's that. So you do these things in the requirements gathering. The other thing you need rapid feedback. You need to very quickly, I mean, this happens all the time. You spend, government projects, you spend a year gathering requirements and then 2 years writing specifications, and 5 years coding, and then, 8 years after you first lifted a finger, you go back to the user and show them, here, okay, look, we got it. And they said, oh, well, yeah, actually, yeah, that's just what we asked for, but not what we want, I'm sorry. And so you really need to get feedback a lot sooner. And there are a number of different ways in which this can be done. Agile development, with the more rapid cycles, tends in that direction. If you don't like agile development of the entire project, you can do agile development or rapid feedback development of the UI. You draw a screen and show it to the user very quickly. You don't wait for all the code to be written behind it. Show it to the user very quickly. You try it on the user very quickly. And that's the other thing. You need to try these on live animals. You need to take your UI designs and you need to actually put them in front of actual users, watch them through one-way class, and see what they do. See how long it takes them to do things. And then you need to instrument the user interface. And I have a talk on that tomorrow here. I think it's at, I can't remember, this might be at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Go look it up in the schedule. And Microsoft wrote that customer experience improvement program thing, right? So it sends these little droplets to Microsoft. The user clicked this, the user clicked that. The problem is they don't make that program, that framework available to third parties. They only use it themselves. So I wrote one, and then I'm going to be discussing how you use it and what you do with it and what you learn and what you do with that information. I'm going to be discussing that tomorrow. And so you then instrument the UI. So as the user is using the program, you find, gosh, they use this button a lot. They don't really use that button hardly at all. They often ask for help on, hit the F1 key and ask for help on topic A, but they don't seem to ask about topic B. They open dialog box number 1 and they say okay a lot, but dialog box number 2 they most frequently cancel. And what you find what the user actually is doing with your UI, and not what you think they're doing or hope they're doing or have them report that they're doing, well then you can start dealing intelligently with what they're actually doing with the program. So.